You know, I like to share my process for prepping a makeover, so here I am wiping down the walls before I paint. I fill in any holes with spackle, but I don't recommend this product that I tried for the first time. It just dries way too fast, and that foam on top just does not smooth like it's supposed to. I always check around any window trim and redo the caulk that's cracking or peeling, and then I tape, or not, but definitely in tight spots like this. Alright, here is the color I chose for the walls. It's a navy blue, and I'm loving the Bare Ultra brand paint. You'll see the walls a little later, but now let me show you how I updated the mirror with metallic wax. This wax is called Metallic Luster, and it's by Deco Art. I got mine at Hobby Lobby, but you can find this on Amazon, and it comes in a bunch of colors. You can apply it with a brush or rag, but I found I got the best coverage using a foam brush, and I also added a tiny bit of water to get it nice and smooth. Once it's dry, you just buff it with a clean rag to get that metallic look. So here it is after that first coat was dry, and I did a second coat and then applied this high gloss varnish from the same brand, and I just used a brush for this. I also wanted to update the vanity cabinet, and of course the most budget-friendly way was to paint it, but first I thought I'd add some detail to the door and drawer fronts using these craft sticks. I wanted to create a herringbone pattern, so I cut off each of the rounded edges on each stick using my miter shears, and then I cut each stick in half. And of course, if you don't have miter shears, you could still do this using a utility knife to cut the sticks. Just takes a little bit longer. To start the herringbone pattern, I drew a line down the center of the door, then a 45-degree angle line going across that center line, and I'll show you up close in a second. This way, the two pieces come together at the ends, creating a 90-degree angle. I promise this will make sense. So here are those two pieces. One is going right on that 45-degree line and the other right across at the end. Now, I had started gluing the pieces on with wood glue, but after I had a bunch in place, they started curling up on the edges. So I switched to using a heavy-duty glue along with hot glue to move the process along. And here you can see a little bit of that curling. And the heavy duty glue and hot glue worked perfectly, and I didn't have to wait for anything to dry. So once I had all my herringbone patterns on all the doors and drawers, I filled in any gaps with wood filler, but I really should have used a lot less because you'll see after I paint it, the design is very subtle. It doesn't show up as much. And before I started painting the cabinet, I cleaned it out with Crud Cutter, then started priming, but this was a big mistake. I thought skipping the sanding process would be okay, but I learned my lesson here. I ended up having to scrape the primer off of all the sides. It was fine on like the legs here, but on the sides and the insides where the drawers go and the inner cabinet, I had to scrape it all off. But I didn't feel like painting it again on the inside, so I ended up using some removable wallpaper I had on hand, which you'll see in a second. So I went ahead and sanded the outside part because I did paint that, and I reprimed just that part. And here is that removable wallpaper that I used. It works just like a contact paper, and it went on really easily. So take my word for it, always sand before painting furniture. Now the color I chose for the cabinet is called Alabaster. It's by the brand Retikit. You've seen me use this in furniture makeovers previously, and I'll link those videos. It's a creamy color with a slight hint of gray. It's showing up pretty light here, but it's pretty creamy. And I applied 2 coats of this, then 2 coats of a satin water-based polyurethane to seal it all in. The final step was adding new hardware. I found these black pulls on Amazon for super cheap, and I think it pulls the whole look together. So here's a look at where the bathroom started. Kind of boring and outdated. And here is what it looks like now. Much more modern and updated, which is what my kids asked for when I told them I was planning this bathroom makeover. If you are interested in the details like the curtains and all that and the cost of this makeover, I will put a breakdown in the description so you could check it there. I'd love for you to leave any questions or thoughts in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.